Welcome. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to set up and configure your email so that it loads through Gmail. And loading through Gmail, not like the way you'd configure it in your app and set POP and IMAP. No, in this video, I'm going to show you how to use your Gmail, both the desktop and mobile versions, to be able to load your email such that as you're reading through your normal Gmail mails, you'll be able to see your custom emails together with that. Now, this is most useful for people who have a domain name that does not have a very active inbox, and you just want to be notified anytime an email comes in, and you don't want to go through the hassle of setting up the IMAP or other configurations. Or some of the people also, and I think I fall into that category as well, don't like the interface that comes with things like webmail or using Outlook, and I would much rather use the Gmail interface. So let's get started. So for you to be able to use this tutorial, you need two things. The first is the full email address you need to set up, and number two, the password to that email address. And so before we begin, please log into your Gmail, as I have done for mine, and also log into your original email if that's through webmail. For instance, if you're using a domain name like Anthony.com, you'd want to use anthony.com/webmail and log in webmail and log into the email, because it's something you will need from there. Okay, let's begin. So once you're logged into your Gmail, you'll need to click the gear icon here and go to the settings. Now, once you go to the settings, it's going to give you a large list, but you want to come to the Accounts and Import tab. Now, at the Accounts and Import tab, you want to use check email from other accounts. So click on that, and it will bring a pop-up. I want to maximize that so that you can be able to view it. Now, once it brings this pop-up, you want to get the email that you want to use for this. So in my case, it's jaribu@siafuwatu.com. All right, I'll click on next. Now you'll enter your email address there, as I've done for mine. Now it's going to give you two options. For mine, one has been grayed out. So we're going to go with the POP3. Import emails from another account using POP3. I'll click on next. Now, once I've done that, it's going to bring this interface. The emails, for me to be receiving emails, I'll need to enter these credentials. So the username should not be Jaribu, or should not be like the first part of the email. It should be the full email address. So in my case, my full email address is jaribu@siafuwatu.com. And the password, it should be the password that you normally use. So I'll enter my password. Okay. Then leave a copy. You want to leave a copy of the retrieved message on the server. When you don't click this, it means that anytime it pulls a message to your Gmail, it's going to remove it from the server. So the best thing would be to leave this ticked so that you can have a backup of all the emails on your server, just in case you need to view them there. If you don't really care about backing up the emails there, you can untick this. However, I'm going to leave mine ticked. Then the next thing I'm going to do is label incoming messages as jaribu@siafuwatu.com. You can probably label this, give it a different label, something like you can say sales email, for instance. If it's a sales email address, you can label it as that as well, and it will label appropriately. So for instance, we can actually even just keep that sales emails, just as an example. Leave the rest of the settings as is. 110 should be the port. Now click on add account. Now once you click on add account, it's going to send a request to the server. So that's what it's doing right now. And it will bring back a request saying that your mail has now been added. So the question that then will be asked is, do you want to also send emails? And ideally, the answer should be yes. So I'll click on yes and click next. And once I click next, it will bring some new questions. So what name would you want the email to seem as? So for instance, we can call this Siafuatu Sales. Now, basing on like what we had talked about earlier, I created the sales label. So let's call this a sales account. So Siafuatu Sales. Now, treat the email as an alias. Now, this setting treats both your Gmail address and the email you're adding as synonymous to each other. Now, in some cases, that may not be the most appropriate. Like in my case, I may probably not want that because I want to reply to emails specifically as Jaribu at siafuatu.com, and I do not want to inadvertently send an email from my Gmail to someone who had sent an email to Jaribu, which can bring a bit of confusion. So I'll not treat it as an alias and click on the next step. Now, in the next step, it's going to require that I enter the credentials to my account as we had done before. So the SMTP server should be mail.siafuatu.com. The port should be 587 as indicated there. Now the username needs to be the full email address. So it's jaribu@siafuatu.com. Now in preparing for this video, I had made a mistake by adding an extra L here. So just a word of caution, just make sure that all the spellings are correct, that you don't have anything missing, because it will throw an error if that's the case. So I'm going to enter my password again. Okay, now that I've entered my password, I'll click on next. So the next thing that it's going to require me to do is log into my email, the original email, so that I can be able to retrieve an email that gives authorization for me to link the accounts. Now, I would want to get into that email. I'd already gotten it open, so I'll pull it in here. And I'll just click on refresh to wait for the new email that has been sent from Google requesting to connect Siafuatu. So it may take a moment. So let's wait for that email to come through. I'd advise you to just refresh several times. Just waiting for it to come through, and here we have it. So confirmation, it's asking for confirmation for us to use Siafuatu. So the two options that exist, you'll notice that there's a link that you can click on, and before that there's a confirmation code. So I'm going to use a confirmation code as my option, and I'm going to copy that there, and make sure as you're copying it that you don't add any spaces, just to be sure. So I'm going to minimize that and add my confirmation code there and click verify. Now once I click verify, it's going to go and see the authentication has worked, and once that disappears, you have successfully connected your account. Now you notice that it's saying jaribu.siafuatu.com connected through POP3, was last checked a minute ago, and like you can check mail now and you'll see like new email that comes in. However, this is not something you need to be doing. I'm just doing this just as an illustration. So one mail fetched from that. So if I go to my inbox, you notice that an email has come through. The same email confirmation that we saw here. You notice that it's the same email showing here. It's the same email here. You notice that they are the same, 5151. So you've successfully connected the email. You may probably want to test, and you can test that out for yourself if it works. I'd rather not go through the pains of testing while we are here. I believe that I've been able to explain properly, and your email should work effectively. So thank you so much for watching that. I hope that you've learned something. If you think this is a great option for you, I'd love to hear whether this is a good response to this challenge for you. If you think there's a different way that you'd want to get a tutorial for, please post it in the comments, and we'd be more than happy to give you that and to help you get to a better place in terms of improving your efficiency in business. Thank you so much for watching this. Have a lovely day, and until next time, adios.